Hello again, welcome back for another daily Binovisor Repentance. It is not May. Damn, I'm tired. June 7th, 2024. Making sure everything's recording. Yep, okay, cool. Oh, today's been a hell of a day. A nice little Zazel run, okay. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out the VHS stuff. Oh, one sec, I got you. Ah! Something got unplugged. That's cool. Haha, I love that. Can I just say something here about plugins? 1 second. Rename some stuff. Okay, we're fine. Ah, God, I almost did it again. Oh, man. I've got so many fucking wires for things. It's insane. Like, I don't really have repeats of wires, not many of them. But son of a bitch, I have to get a bunch of different wires for a bunch of different things, you know? It's insane. And I have to order more wires? I have one wire, which I don't know if I still have or I gave that away. That turned out I needed. I didn't know what it was, I guess, years ago until, you know, recently when I was working with a camera. An AR, whatever, audio video thingamajiggy. For like a camcorder. High 8 camcorder thing or whatever. And then just a bunch of shit going on today, let me tell you. Okay, so that capture card I talked about recently, right? That I got. Well, that was a kind of a clusterfuck to deal with. I thought, you know, to myself, oh, this won't take long to set up. But, you know, I've set up capture cards and stuff over the years. Like, surely this would not just be a pain in my ass, right? Oh, boy. Was it a pain in my ass? Kinda. Became more of a pain in my ass after I realized, like, my mistake, too, with some of the process. So, I was talking about, you know, before this drive is... this device came from Japan or something like that. And it's, like, it's a high regard for capturing stuff, you know, for like speedrunners and stuff like that, I guess. And so anyways, shit. Okay, almost got me there. The firmware is not built into the device. It's one of those rare kind of devices where you have to go and install stuff in order to make a difference, in order for it to work and function properly. And so I installed it like yesterday, like a driver on my phone, and I transferred it to my computer to do whatever. Because you have to go onto a Japanese website, which I later did, and then you had to put in the serial number of your device in there. Fucking stupid. But yeah, serial device. I mean, the device isn't like a freaking, you know, $200 or $300 thing or anything like that. It's like $50. And so, anyways, I was going through and I was essentially just pissed off, and I thought I was like I thought I was installing the thing correctly, the stuff, the firmware or whatever. I might as well take this. Turns out I wasn't. Apparently, I was actually extracting it to my desktop, the firmware, and then I had to go on there and install the firmware separately. And so by doing that, I try to like upgrade the latest firmware or whatever. I might as well take you, my little dude. I tried upgrading the latest firmware, and because it said for Windows 10, right? Surely it would work. Nope. So then I tried Windows 11 for shits. Nope, didn't work. What I mean by didn't work is, like, it detects on OBS for video or something, but there was no audio, like settings changes or whatever. So I kept fucking around. I kept, like, doing a bunch of research, too, to try to figure out what the hell's going on. And so... I might as well pop that. Anyways, so I went through and found out, like, oh, wow, actually, it turns out that these firmwares have issues for some reason, all these firmwares. So to have this firmware that came out during the Windows 7 or Windows 8 era for your Windows 10. It's like, okay, and sure enough, okay, so I see the audio settings, right? And then I kept fucking around off and on before and after I fixed the whole firmware issue, trying to get the audio work because the video was working fine. And, well, before I was messing around with that, I was trying to figure out what the hell's going on with this hi-fi whatever camcorder that has some video on there. Because I played for a little bit, I stopped it, rewound it, and played it again, and then it just, like, shit it out. I'm like, oh, fuck. It wasn't playing anymore. There's, like, errors and stuff like that. And so it's like, oh, shit. So then I was, like, researching about how to clean up the shit. The headers and all this other stuff. And it's saying, oh, don't use Q-tips. And another one's like, use Q-tips. And then it was like, oh, use 99% rubbing alcohol. And the other one's like, oh, don't use 99%. You can use 91%. One's like, use an air duster. The other one's, don't use an air duster. And then it's like, oh, use paper to clean the drum out. And the other one's like, don't use paper because it's got microscopic crystals of, like, glass in there or something. And I'm like, oh, fuck, man. Why there's such a decisiveness of the VCR community and camcorder community to fix their damn headers? What the hell is going on in the world? Anyways, I seen some obscure thing from this YouTuber that just kept going around in circles with, like, finding solutions to fixing, like, headers or whatever. He just kept going in circles with shit and just showing off all this equipment he had. And it's like, oh yeah, I got all this equipment and all this, it costs quite a bit of money because, all this and da-da-da. And just went on. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Just get to the point. And so, like, he made an interesting point on there, which was, like, the most absurd thing. I thought it was bullshit. And that is, like, fast forward it, the video essentially on the camcorder, then rewind it and then do it another time or whatever. So I did it the first time. It actually fixed the thing mostly. I'm like, what the fucking shit? And then, like, I did that, and then I did it again, and then it fixed it. I'm like, what the fuck kind of black magic is this? I'm glad it worked, like, knock on wood. And so, yeah, so they had that part, and then going back with what I was saying earlier about that capture card, I kept fucking trying to figure out what's going on with that too. It's like, why is the audio not working? Why is the audio not working? And then I was seeing stuff online. It's like, oh yeah, the audio's not working because they typically shit out eventually. I'm like, oh, that's great. I got a defective item. I was like thinking to myself. And then a part of me, for a little bit early on, I was like, maybe composite wouldn't be bad. Maybe composite would be fine or whatever. But then it's like I didn't have composite cables. Which I was actually looking out at Salvation Army and Goodwill for some freaking cables earlier this morning. And I was like in a rush to get some stuff done too today. So it was just, I didn't really find what I needed. So I ordered some anyways online from Cable Matters or whatever the heck the company is. Pretty good cables they make in my opinion. Got some really good high quality HDMI cables for like this 4K television stuff. But yeah, so I was looking and looking and looking, and then I came across a forum that was saying like about S-Video stuff. And it's saying like, well, S-Video doesn't actually carry audio source. And I was like thinking to myself, it's like, it doesn't? See, I had this impression it was like some form of early HDMI, right? But no, I actually looked more into it. It's like, son of a bitch. Of course. Of course there's why there's no video. Because I tried it in two different things, right? I tried it in a VCR, which was technically a VCR that has a DVD player in there. And so when you connect a S-Video on there, it's only for the DVD player, which sucks. Major chunks. It's an old VCR of mine, not like the one I which just got ordered recently. That'd be some shit if I got that one. And so, in order for me to capture the audio off of this camcorder, and this is the real shit end of the stick with things, I have to get this little cable, and it's a, you plug it into the camcorder. It's got this little hook to it, right? And now, on the other side of the hook, for the other side of the cable, is essentially, oh, pussy, that's what it is. It's essentially, how do I put it in words? Almost got me there. A composite. So I would feed it, so I guess what I would have to do is feed it into the S-Video. And then use the composite for the volume. I assume it would work on the thing because it said options on the capture card to use composite or the other thing. Blanking on the name. Composite or S-Video. So I'm assuming if I did the S-Video, it still would detect for the audio stuff. Which is what I want. Is what I want. Yeah, so that was just like... And then also I made a big mess searching for things too, beforehand. And so, yeah, there was that. I still gotta clean some stuff up. I still gotta lift and eat tonight. I'm kind of tired as fuck. I also had a bunch of blood that splattered on me today. My blood, if you're curious. No, I wasn't going to some satanic party or anything like that. Don't you worry about me. And besides, if it was a satanic party, I would never tell you. Blood orgy, blood orgy. Am I right? So yeah, it was... So I had to clean that up. I was given some blood thinner, liquid stuff or whatever, from a hospital. It's like, oh, okay, here you go. Not a hospital, but a medical facility or whatever. It's an anticoagulant. It's a blood thinner. And they said, oh yeah, just put it on your clothes, let them soak for the night, and then wash them in the morning. It looks like I got most of the blood out, surprisingly. I was told from staff there, oh yeah, this stuff works. Just put blood thinner on it. And so, like, I was essentially going through and putting blood thinner on my clothes. It's also part saline, too. It's not just blood thinner, but... Oh, like that makes it any better. I think Mom's knife might have been a bad choice here, honestly. And so, yeah, just like... So that's kind of sitting over there, just kind of marinating in its liquid. Now, let me tell you something weird about saline and blood thinner. Like, it acts like an oil. I've used coconut oil. I've used I've used, what's the other oil? Blanking on the name. Check out this magic. Wow.
Puberty.
I've used coconut oil, I've used olive oil, and it's got this weird consistency to it. So it's like, it spreads the liquid around in a weird way. And so that's what it was doing with this. Only it was like more, I don't know, buoyant, I guess you call it. Yeah, buoyant. On the clothes. Told me to just soak it. Okay, soaked it. So I just wash it in the morning, and then I expect good tidings to me, I suppose. Not every day you're given a medical grade IV to clean blood off your clothes at home. Hooray, science! Excelsior!
The fool.
On the plus side, though, today, at least I found out what my problems were with the devices. And I got like half price off of meat and cheese today. Which is a big fucking deal in this economy. Oh, lordy. When I seen that, I'm like, oh shit. Gotta get me some of that. Some of that meat, some of that cheese, that cheddar. Gotta eat that. Oh my lordy, man, I am not doing so hot right now. But you know what? I'm glad that my cameras were not, my camera wasn't a problem. My capture card wasn't a problem, at least not yet. I gotta see how those cables deal with it. I'm assuming it'll be fine. Just gotta believe in yourself. Probably in a couple days we'll start doing some archiving. Part of the archiving. This video is going to be the best bet when it comes to this camcorder stuff. Because this is a weird thing, and I was like trying to look for like Hi-Fi 8, you know, tape converters similar to like VHS ones where you can get like a type of deck or something. It's looking more into it. They don't exist. I'm like, what the fuck? They don't exist? So you better have like, you know, an 8mm like tape player. Like, not tape player. Well, yeah, a tape player, but that'd be super expensive coming to find out. But you better have like a I'm blanking on the name, motherfucker. You better have like a high 8, well, V8, whatever the fuck. Whatever. God, fuck, man. I am just tired as fuck over the place now. You better have a camcorder that is compatible with that kind of stuff. There we go, son of a bitch. After 10,000 years, I'm free. Cause like, I mean, you can get them kind of cheap, but then it's like, you better make sure they work too, it's a thing. Because we buy them online, eBay. So I got this VCR coming in. Now I was talking to somebody last week about VCRs. And she almost totally forgot about what a VCR was, and and she told me she thanked and then she was like telling me, you know, thank you for unlocking a core memory that she forgot about. I'm like, son of a bitch, like. Cause she was talking about when she was a kid, you know. I'm gonna get this. She would used to play VHS tapes or whatever, Disney tapes or whatever. I think it's the same one too that was talking about, or maybe it was a different one. Person there was talking about like, oh yeah, I seen the eclipse when I was a kid in my parents' car back in 2017. I'm like, son of a bitch. Like, I know that's 7 years ago, but motherfucker, it wasn't that long ago, was it? What were you, like a teenager, preteen? What the fuck? I just trying to wrap my brain around this stuff, you know? Me with these people. I met someone that was born the year 2000 years ago. Of course, I asked him, it's like, because I know he wasn't going to remember this, you know? It was just like striking a conversation kind of thing. It's like, do you remember 9/11? You know, because like I would think that'd be like such a significant event that a lot of people would remember if they were born just the right time to remember that stuff or even be around to it happening. He's like, fuck no, did you? It's like, yeah. Like, man. I know as years going by, it's going to be more and more of that. Fortnite? I never heard of that game. I was playing Skippity Toilet, 3. The quest for the Gat. The second one was alright, but I didn't have enough Riz. Pokey Flute. You know damn well that's the Pokey Flute. It looks very similar to that. Waking up the Snorlax and all that stuff. What's the Snorlax? What's a Pokemon? One time I was talking to somebody at a shoe store about dial-up. It's like, oh yeah, my parents use that or whatever. Or no, he didn't say that, I don't think. Or maybe he did, but he talked about stories of his parents using dial-up. In other words, like, before his time that he was born, they were using dial-up. These people out there, you know? Now we got the iPhone generation. Like, our iPad kids, right? Gen Alpha. Probably listening right now. Or, I don't know. I don't know what my demographic of people are with this channel. Like, I don't really look at statistics too much with, like, my audience with YouTube stats. Like, yeah, it's kind of useful. You get an idea of who your audience is. It's Google Analytics is what it is, man. I actually met somebody that was older than me. Didn't know what Google Analytics were. It's like, really? I mean, I guess some people don't really use it, so it's like, you know, they don't have a reason to really engage with it too much. I didn't really use it too much either for a while.
Puberty.
I mean, I don't use it now, but like,
Up. One makes you larger.
it's just a strange thing in the strange world, you know? How that works. I had a teacher that was a few years older than me. Was asking about like the Blair Witch stuff or whatever, about promotions and stuff like that. That was on TV talking about it. And I was like, oh yeah, I kind of vaguely remember that. And it was like, oh, I'm surprised you remember that. And because he was assuming I was much younger than it appeared. Yeah, I didn't respond to him about like my age or anything. I just found it humorous. It's like, oh. Oh yeah, let me tell you about me seeing The Mummy in theaters when I was a kid. The Mummy Returns. Tried seeing Headless Horseman, but I got scared shitless and wanted to get out of the theater for that. After the scene where the head cut it off. Me watching Pokemon the first movie and then Pokemon 2000 in theaters. Even watching Power Rangers a movie, even though I have no memory of that, in theaters. Watching the premiere Pokemon back in 97. Watching The Lion King in 94, which is like 30 years ago. Fuck. Okay. 269th place. It's not bad. It's pretty good for an Azazel run on the daily, because typically there's a lot of competition with that stuff. So anyways, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.